Hey love, I'm Gina, a fitness, nutrition, and self-love coach, helping high-achieving women heal their relationship with food and their bodies so they can finally feel free, strong, and confident in their own skin. If you've ever felt stuck in the cycle of restriction, binging, and body shame, trust me, you are not alone. On this podcast, we're calling out diet culture BS, building your dream body without the obsession, and getting real about what it actually means to love yourself in a world that constantly tells you not to. I've been there. Anorexia, binge eating, body hate, you name it, I've lived it. And now I help women just like you find food freedom, feel sexy in their skin, and take their damn power back. So get ready, because the Fit Without Obsession podcast starts now. Let's go ahead and talk about the biggest body image lie that ruled my life for years, and maybe it's still something that has a grip on you too. It's the lie in your head that you hear that says, if I looked a certain way, then I'd finally feel confident. Then I'd be happy. Then I'd be enough. That lie honestly had me in such a chokehold for forever, and I let it ruin years of my life. So today I'm going to break down why this belief is one of the most dangerous traps we can fall into and how it keeps you stuck no matter how your body changes, and really honestly go into the real mindset shift that set me free. So first, let's go into what this lie is, right? There is this cultural conditioning that we have that you hear, if I shrink myself, then I'll be loved. If I'm toned enough, then I'll be confident. And this lie is really sneaky because it tells you that your life begins 10 pounds from now. It doesn't begin now, it begins in the future once you finally hit that goal. And that real you, the happy, confident, lovable version of yourself, really only shows up when you've earned her. And that's what we're staying stuck in when we hold this belief. And for me, this lie really showed up in my life, especially when I was starting out as a dancer and was in rehearsals. I was always believing that my worth was in my reflection. I remember being in the studio and looking at other girls and thinking, if I could just have her legs, or if I just had that six pack that she had, or maybe her tiny waist, then I would finally stop hating myself. But honestly, when I ended up at my smallest and I was in the gym and I felt super cut, people praised me, but inside I was honestly so miserable. I felt so insecure and I still felt not enough, even though I was getting external validation or maybe had reached what I thought was going to help me feel better in my skin. And then two, kind of on the flip side of that, at my heaviest, when I started binging after treatment and I gained a lot of weight, I thought that, that was why I was miserable, right? I kind of almost affirmed it for myself. I was like, because of my body, that's why I'm miserable. But honestly, the spoiler here is that I had been miserable the whole time, at my smallest and my heaviest in between. And it really didn't matter what my body had looked like at any of those stages because the lie was always there. So if you have ever thought, when I lose 10 pounds, I'll finally love myself, or once I lose the belly fat, once I fit back into those jeans, once my arms don't jiggle, then I'll finally feel okay, you're living under the same lie right now. So now that we understand kind of this lie that has been given to us and that we repeat daily, we need to go into why it's so dangerous and why we really need to give up this thought process. And the first thing is that it moves the goalpost. So even if you actually reach the body you think will fix everything, your brain is going to just create this new standard. I know for me, I would set a goal weight, I would maybe get there, and then immediately after, my brain would go ahead and say, okay, but what if we lost 5 more pounds? Or, okay, what if we leaned up even more? So it's really turns into trying to win a game where the finish line keeps moving further and further away, because you will never be satisfied, especially because when we are tying our worth to how we look, right? And we get to that body, we get to that goal, whatever it is, and we don't feel better. We say, okay, well, I guess this wasn't what I was really striving for. It must be smaller. It must be more. It must be trying harder in this realm. Another reason that this lie is dangerous is it makes happiness conditional. You honestly keep postponing joy and love and confidence when you're stuck in this space because you don't think that your body qualifies for it yet. I remember telling myself that I couldn't wear a bikini until I was smaller, and I couldn't take photos on vacation until I felt more confident, and I couldn't go out to dinner and order what I really wanted because honestly, like I wasn't at that stage, that body that I thought deserved it. So every single joy in my life kind of had this like asterisk with it that you get this when you look different. Like you get to finally enjoy this once you get to that goal, once you push harder. And another reason that this lie is dangerous is it really reinforces shame. Because when you don't measure up, you end up blaming yourself instead of questioning the toxic belief itself. I didn't measure up to my fantasy body at so many moments in my life, and I didn't question the belief underneath that. I automatically blamed myself, and I thought that I was weak, I was a failure, and I wasn't good enough to stick to the plan. So the lie honestly starts to turn your own mind into your bully. And you start berating yourself. You start getting down on yourself day after day after day, and that really can eat away at you. I know at my leanest, I had what most women in the gym would call maybe like a dream body, right? Like I had visible abs, I had fine arms, flat stomach. Like I thought that that would finally fix me. But I, at this time, still like literally spent hours mirror checking. Like I pinched my thighs. I would take 30 pictures and delete every single one because I thought my face looked too round. And it really wasn't about my body. I should have been on top of the world if it was at this time, right? But I wasn't. I was drowning. I felt so disconnected from what I really was striving to feel like and to be. So now that we've investigated this lie, I really want to go into the truth that I learned throughout this journey and really the truth behind having great body image. And the first thing is that confidence isn't in the body, it's actually in your mind. You really cannot hate yourself into confidence. There's no possible way for this to work. Your relationship with yourself, honestly, is what dictates how you feel in your body. It's not the scale or the pant size. So if you are going around thinking that you're not enough, you're not worthy, like, I don't care what that number on the scale says, you're still going to feel not confident. Like, you're still not going to get to that confidence that you're striving for because we need to actually change that in our brain and the way that we're thinking and the way that we're going about this. Your body also is not the problem. It's the belief that we are following that currently is. The mirror doesn't create shame. It's the narrative that you've been taught that really does. So again, it's this rewiring and understanding that like being mean to yourself, forcing yourself to look a certain way until you can experience joy, like that's the problem. It's not actually like what's underneath your skin, right? Honestly, the turning point for me came when I asked myself, okay, Gina, like you've been small, you've hated yourself, like you've been bigger, you also hated yourself then. So what if the problem isn't about your body at all? What if it's the belief that you have to earn worthiness through shrinking? And sitting with that question is what really started to shift and change my whole world. And I started to then, from there, started chasing strong instead of chasing smaller. And that's when I finally started feeling at home on my skin. And a good way to look at this is like your body is not supposed to be a project. It's your partner. It honestly wants to support you, right? So are we acting in a way that is true to that? So now that you understand that there is this lie around body image and kind of this trajectory that maybe you've been following that isn't going to give you that confidence that you've been looking for, I want to go into how you're going to break free from that. So the first step is to call out the lie. I want you to really notice when your brain says, if I just look like her, then I'll be happy. And again, that awareness is key. Like once we can finally start investigating and seeing where it's popping up, like that's when we can start to rewrite it, right? So that goes into step number 2 is that we need to separate confidence from aesthetics. So ask yourself, what do I think being smaller will give me? And everyone's going to have different reasons why they want to get smaller, right? So maybe for you, it's validation. Maybe you think it's going to give you freedom. Maybe you think once you finally get smaller, you'll have peace. And then ask yourself, once you've identified that, like, how can I give myself pieces of that right now? Because you can. You're allowed to. I promise you're allowed to. You have permission to. The next step is choose strength and presence over obsession. And that starts by shifting your goals, right? So start chasing instead of like how you want to look, chase how you want to feel. That's what's going to shape the goals that's actually going to get to you to feeling confident, right? Outside of that aesthetic goal. So I want you to even sit, maybe reflect on this. You can even use this journal prompt. What would I be doing differently in my life if I already loved my body today? Because continuing to make these goals that are aesthetic based, where it makes you feel like you can't enjoy life now as it is, like that's a miserable way to live. That's no way to live. The lie that kept me stuck was believing my body had to change for me to love myself. The freedom for me came when I realized self-love and confidence are choices, not results of a diet. So I want you, after listening to this episode, like choose to give yourself love. Choose to wear shorts, choose to take pictures and enjoy vacation, choose to eat pasta at dinner. Like you get to choose those things, right? You don't have to wait till you're 10 pounds away. You don't have to wait until after your next diet. You can do that now. And then too, again, like we could work on goals. I am always going to 100% be on board with you wanting to get stronger, with you wanting to get more muscle or lean out or whatever it is. Like that's okay. Those goals are fine to have, but they can't be the only driving factor in our life, right? Like the biggest thing, the forefront of our goals should be centered around how we want to feel, how we are going to become confident, right? So if you are listening to this and you feel like you're finally ready to break free from the chokehold once and for all, like I do have some coaching spots open. I would love to walk through this journey with you because something that I really hold dear to my heart is that when I work with my clients, it's not just that I'm giving them fitness plans. It's not just that I'm giving them nutrition plans. No, it goes so much deeper than that. We're working through self-worth. We're working through you actually finding this body image that brings joy to your life. Like you can have that. You can look in the mirror and love yourself. And I think, again, this episode is the place to start. But if you are feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you don't know how to do this alone and you can't break free without that external guidance, like I am here to help you find that confident body image while still working towards those goals that you have. So definitely check out the show notes. You can apply for coaching there. You can message me at @thefitbean_, whatever feels easiest to you. But I would love to have a conversation and really help you on this journey and show you that you don't have to stay in this lie anymore. Like you can have confidence. It is out there for you. All you have to do is reach out and grab it. Thank you so much for tuning into the Fit Without Obsession podcast. If this episode helped you heal, grow, or just feel a little less alone, go ahead and hit the follow button so that you never miss a moment of this journey. And if you loved it, share it on your stories and tag me at @thefitbean_. I seriously love seeing what resonates. Sharing this podcast helps more women step out of a session and into their power. And that ripple effect starts with you. And if you're ready for deeper support, check the show notes for ways that we can work together. Just remember, eat the pasta, wear the shorts, and love the hell out of your life. You deserve it always. Talk soon.